What's up, guys? It's Jam1 from Jam1 TCG coming at you guys with another Jam and Deck profile and regional top. So we are here with none other than from the pilot episode, James Thomas. He's out here still doing it with Cyber Dragon, which is amazing, even in this new format, guys. So we're about to dive into his profile, and this time, guys, I'll let you tell him. He got top 8. Not sure exactly what place, but he can tell you that. But guys, top 8 with Cyber Dragon right now is pretty crazy. Let's get into it. All right. So James, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for asking.
For sure. So you were in our first original pilot episode of this series podcast where we look at the people who got their invites and or top 8 in these events like regionals, top tier 2 events. And you did it with Cyber Dragons last time. You got like in a top cut, but like this time you actually got top 8. Where were you and what were you doing? Like, how did you do this? Like, let us know now.
The amount of people that entered the Colorado tournament in Denver, Colorado for the regional were 225 players. I ended up going 7-1 and placed 3rd overall at final standings. So I got top 4.
Wow. That's like such an improvement too. Like you went from top cut to just top 4 with this. That's crazy.
Absolutely.
Wow, good job. So, like, yeah, like, let's...
Before we get started, make sure you hop on the subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any totally awesome uploads. Yeah. And also, did you know that if you go to the description box below, there are some totally awesome things and content for you to consume?
I'm looking at this, like, and if you guys watch the first episode, you can kind of see there's a lot of things in this deck that are very similar, but, like, it's evolved over time. What do you, like, it was like a go second variant before and you were kind of just trying to OTK them. How has your strategy changed from that? And like, what is it now exactly? Because it still looks like it's a lot of the go second stuff. Is that still your main strategy?
Yes and no. I'm now more adept to going first if forced to. Back then, the meta was mostly Sky Striker, and I guess there was also some Crusadia, some Thunder Dragon, to where I wanted to actually deliberately OTK my opponent. I wanted to go a hyper offensive route. This time around, I decided to switch to a more optimal variant because there's just way too much control going on in the meta. There's True Draco, which honestly, limited removal would actually deal greatly. But then there's also Guru, and I can't see myself OTKing. So for this regional, well, I'm going to go back to a few weeks ago in South Portland, Maine. I bubbled hard, going 4-2-1, getting 22nd place, losing on the bubble to Solomon Gray in time by 1,000 life points.
Oh,
I ran a very similar variant, but instead of running the Gamma package, I ran 2 Ghost Bells in the main, 2 Nibiru in the main, and the 2 Ash in the main. And honestly, Nibiru is an amazing card, don't get me wrong, but I don't think maining it is a good meta call, because there's only one really meta-relevant deck that cripples, and that's Solomon Gray. Orcas can kind of play around it because of Babel. They'll just turn with Babel into Girasu anyways, and it does nothing to Draco, nothing to Geist, nothing to Guru. You try to use against Pendulums, they'll probably have a monster negate out on or before their 5th summon, so it's kind of dead weight there. And Sky Striker, you're not going to get it off unless they do something really weird, like go from Hornet Drone / Ray into Kaina, then Hayate, then Kagari, then Shizuku, which would be kind of weird, and that was almost
then what are you
going to
do? Nibiru them for 1 card? Like, what's the point?
Pretty much. So I had that as my hand trap lineup 2 weeks ago. I bubbled. Then the following week, which was last weekend, I went to Peabody, Massachusetts for their regional, and I tried a rendition of what I topped with in February because I went by the old homage of if it works, it works. I tried a limited removal build, and the only hand traps I had were the impermanences, the evenlies, and the ashes, and I went 3-3 drop. Yeah, it was not a very good idea. So again, I did more testing over this past week, and I finally managed to get Gammas because I didn't have any. I wanted to play them all along, and I put the Gammas in the deck list that you're seeing right now because honestly, I'm going to go on record here and say that Cyframe Gear Gamma is the best hand trap in the current metagame. It can hit almost any deck, pretty much any deck you see fit. It can deal True Draco if you trigger their search. you can deal with Guru. You can just kill the Guru when it flips up, courtesy of Hidden City. You kill the Electromite and Pendulum, that pretty much ends their turn most of the time, as I found out. Solemn Grave, hit the Gazelle or the Stelio. Sky Striker, hit the Lynx. As long as Ray is not in the graveyard, you're good to go. Or you can chain to the Ray when they do their whole Area Zero Ray combo thing. Orcus, well, you would like to hit the Galatea. Or if they're on an awkward board where they have one monster and they have a Harp Horror in the graveyard or a Nightmare in the graveyard, you just gamma one of those things so they can't really get their Galatea out. So.
Oh, huh. Yeah, Gamma seems like it has like pretty wide range. So a lot of people haven't been using it lately, but oh yeah, you're playing this too.
This is one of two ways I play around Nibiru in the deck. The other way is enemy controller, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
I saw that spice too. I'm like, ooh, nice.
I have a pretty spicy, a pretty heat reason for putting that over mind control in the deck, but we'll get to that. But Lambda, for those that don't know, is an excellent link too. And there's actually two reasons why I have this in it. The main reason is so if I'm forced to go first or if I'm going second, I want to avoid Nibiru and I have Gamma in hand, I make Cypher and Lambda. It's a generic link that you can use any monsters except tokens. It has two down arrows diagonal. And when it's face up on the field, you can activate Cypher effects from your hand even if you control monsters. And as you know, ordinarily, Gamma and stuff like that, you'd have to have no monsters controlled. But with Lambda, you're good to go. So the general idea here is to get Lambda out, do your swarming. They're gonna have to Nibiru because they're gonna have to try to, because they're gonna lose if they don't. So They try to Nibiru, and I'll just Gamma them. And that actually happened during my round 8 match.
Nice.
That actually happened.
Nice. So yeah, because with Lambda, he basically lets you do it because usually you have to have no field, but with that you can still do it even when you have a field.
Also, I should mention the second reason I put Lambda in here. This was just the bonus. The main reason was the whole Cypher thing, but the bonus was the arrows are really good on it. Like it doesn't point up to your opponent's monster zones. It's down, 2 down arrows, much like Genius over here, so you can just do your swarms.
Right.
I can actually get Lambda plus Infinity plus Nova plus a Cyber Dragon all in one turn on the field.
Jeez, that's scary.
Indeed, it is.
Wow. So you said that you can now go first, and so you're not trying to it doesn't matter. Are you still
it's preferable
to go second?
It's preferable to go second.
Okay.
Because I do want to beat my opponent decisively.
Right.
And if I was to go first, I would want to open up with Infinity plus I can open up Infinity plus Mega Fleet plus possibly Overflow and other disruptions, or I can go Infinity plus Lambda and other disruptions. So I have a game plan to go in first. And unlike the last deck list we went over back in February, I'm actually maining I'm Cybernetic Overflow this time.
Nice. Yeah, that card is so good. You just pop so many cards for free.
I just didn't main it last time because it wasn't the direction I took the last building.
Right. Okay. Fair. So, you mentioned what were some of your matchups throughout this time? What were some of the difficult matchups, and what were the matchups you just easily bodied them? And then also how overall in this meta game right now, what are you doing with this deck? Because we know that we saw Cyber Dragon kind of get its little shine with Cyber Orcus, but this is just a pure build, and so how is that in this game right now? Because I'm all for the rogue strategies.
Well, I'm going to put a disclaimer up. There was a lot of rogue at this regional, and I somehow got half of my matchups as rogue matchups.
Okay.
2 of which I've been doing a lot of testing on YGOPro under the screen name Jungkook or Jungkook _ BTS. I don't remember how it's pronounced because no one expects me to go under a K-pop name. I don't like K-pop. I'm not a K-pop fan. I just do that to be discreet with what I'm doing on YGOPro.
For sure.
But I've been doing a lot of testing. I faced a lot of hero decks and some trap tricks decks. And I faced both of those, one right at the other at the end of the day. So I had a lot of exposure. I knew how to play around those decks. But I'll briefly go over my matchups. And it's actually interesting because looking back at it now, I'm actually glad I lost the match that I did. And I will explain my theory behind why that was a good thing. So round 1, it was Salomon Great. I beat that 2-1 in time, and it was justice because of what happened to me in Maine a few weeks ago.
Right, poetic justice.
So I lost to Salomon Great in time on the bubble. Game 1, I lost. I drew driver in my opening hand that game. Like, yeah, that was the first time driver made an appearance, the very first game. I put up a good fight, but there really wasn't much I could do. I mean, he in the end got me a Pete Leo, so it's kind of like, what can you do at that point? Game 2, he had a really bad hand, and I mean an absolutely bad hand, to the point where he had a silent mine for a Gazelle. He normal summoned, tried to activate the effect, and permanence. He went to bailing, set 1 or 2 pass. I drew, summoned Cyber Dragon, contact away into Mega Fleet, normal summon core. The reason why I did that
too strong.
The reason why I chose the normal summon core after the contact fuse is so Roar, if he had it set, wouldn't be alive. But when I know some core, he's like, yeah, let's just go to game 3. And I'm like, okay. Game 3 was rather interesting. Like, I had him, towards the end, I had him down to like 400 life. He got me down to like 55. I don't remember what did the damage, because, you know, I was at the airport all day yesterday.
Right, long day.
Or today, rather. So I don't exactly remember all the details perfectly.
Yeah,
but
we don't got to go through every single details. But any like key highlights, like
yes,
go ahead.
It didn't matter what he would have done because I had Nibiru in hand. If he tried to get like a field out to reduce my life points to 0, before I enter the battle place, I would just Nibiru everything, and that would be that.
Right? Yeah, Nibiru is like absolute poison to Solomon.
It is. Round 2 was Orcus, which I lost 2-1 in time to the person who went undefeated throughout the entire regional.
Oh, well, that's not a bad loss at all.
Game 1, I gammed his Galatea.
Ooh.
He misplayed and didn't ding Urasu first, so rip him.
Yikes.
Game 2, well, actually, game 1, I ended up getting Seedra out, then I summoned Rampage. Like, yep, okay, let's just go to game 2. Game 2, he made me go first. And he cited the artifact package, Sanctum and Scythe. And he later told me, when we went out later that night for the celebration dinner, that he did that because he knew I would most likely pass without doing anything. So on my second turn, he went Sanctum, Scythe, and well, what can you do about that? I mean, I rely on the extra deck a lot. So,
all decks do now. So
I just basically scooped that. Game 3 was a really intense game, and even though I lost it in time, which can be frustrating, it was an amazing game. I had a lot of fun with it, and he really gave me a run for my money. It all came down to him having 1 card left in his deck, and he had more life points than me in time, and time was called, so not much I could do there. I lost that one. And I was like, I said, no, I am glad I lost that, and I have a theory as to why that was a good thing. See, my theory is, had I won that one, I would have been 2-0 and undefeated, and I would have most likely had to face like some other undefeateds that were probably running True Draco, and I was not prepared for True Draco in the main deck. This doesn't cut it anymore because Solemns have 3, and chances are, all the drawing and searching they do, they can possibly have a Solemn Judgment before I've evenly at the ready. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, True Draco is out here. It's actually been doing well. I mean, shout out to Anton. He's one of our local guys at the Detroit Regional. He went undefeated with True Draco. So it's like True Draco is a deck. It's still.
I did see that deck profile. That is awesome.
Yeah, like man, it's scary.
Good job to him. I mean, so I'm glad I dodged True Draco.
True.
I think it was because I lost that round. Round 3 was against Maju, and my opponent, I don't want to be disrespectful, but my opponent was really not a very nice person. Like, I'm usually very friendly and outgoing during our matches, you know, trying to get rid of the tension, but he was just not, he didn't really have a personality.
Yeah, some of those players are like, yeah, chill out. It's a game. Have fun.
Game 1, he stomped me with Maju because of all the traps that he played, and, well, he had Maju, and that's a big punch to the face. Game 2, I don't remember how I beat him, but I think I got him down to a simplified game state. That is another point in my deck. My deck is to either stun you with hand traps and be able to kill you in one turn, or use my evenly matched, or possibly stun you with hand traps and get you down to a simplified game state where I have complete control of the match. So that's what I basically did with him. He summoned Border. He had a few sets. I summoned Cyber Dragon. I contacted the Wings of Fortress because why not?
Yeah.
Machines,
Fortress is great. Gets rid of the Silver Surfer.
I don't remember the exact sequences and how I won that one, but I can tell you how I won game 3. It was because of this. And
the Econ. Tell us about this spice.
See, the thing is, it didn't accomplish what it was supposed to do, but it indirectly won me the game. And I'm going to explain how. So he used Solemn Strike and Solemn Judgment throughout the match. And in the later part of the match, he was about to attack for a lot of damage. So I activate Econ in an attempt to switch his monster defense, and he Solemn Judgment, bringing his life down to about 1,600. So that opened the door for him to lose 2 turns later. What happened 2 turns later was, I think he had an empty field. So I normal summoned Cyber Dragon Core. I searched out Cyber Load Fusion. I attempted to attack for 400. Mind you, I have like Cyber Dragon, Cyber Hertz, and another core banished because of overflow earlier in the match. So this is important to this one. So I attack. He chains Gizmic, special summons it in defense, so I have to replay. I choose not to replay the attack. That would be suicidal. If I ran my core into Gizmic, I would have lost. I choose not to go forth with the attack. So I activate Cyberload Fusion from my hand, and I fuse the on-field Cyber Dragon Core, count it as a Cyber Dragon while face up on the field, and the Cyber Dragon in the Banish Zone to make my favorite card of all time. I'm not joking. This is my favorite card of all time. Cyber Twin Dragon.
Ooh, nice.
Attack over the Gizmic.
The OG.
Attack for game.
Wow.
I tried to extend my hand to him, and he would not shake it. So
he was like, "I just lost to Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Cyber Dragon Twin Dragon."
The interesting thing is, I noticed a lot of people don't like this card in the deck, but I mean, it's actually really clutch, and I honestly really like it. So it's kind of like, what can you do? It's underrated as a card. I would not play more than one though.
Fair.
So round 4, I will not lie. I played my absolute best throughout the day, except for this round. I don't know what happened, and this usually happens during round 4 because sometimes my brain just dies at that round. I told you it happened in our last interview.
Yeah.
Back with this, when I activated Overload Fusion in an affected zone by impermanence. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it just sometimes that happens.
I made even worse goof here. So I summoned Kaiju. It was Sky Striker. I summoned Kaiju to his field. I did my little thing where I swarm and whatnot. And something happened. I just forgot. And I just went right into battle phase. I'm like, oops. I attacked the Cyber Dragon. He's like, there's a Kaiju on my side of the field. I forgot to absorb it. I don't know what happened with my brain.
These regionals take so much mental capacity. You probably were thinking turns ahead where you thought you just said oops.
I had to scoop that game. Game 2, I think I won fairly easy. I think he drew like absolute crap. Game 3, at one point I econned his Kagari, sent it to his main monster zone after the turn ended. He has Shizuku and Kagari on the field at that time. I had another lapse in judgment. I actually contacted away his Kagari that was the main monster zone, and what I wanted to do and what I should have done was contact away the Shizuku. So by getting rid of the Kagari out of his main monster zone, that pretty much opened up for him to use his little Sky Circus spells and stuff. I still win this one. And the interesting thing is, we had a ruling dispute. It was Infinity versus Shizuku with Ray engraved. He claims that you can special summon Ray if you use Infinity's effect to absorb Shizuku as material. Technically, when you absorb them as XYZ materials or you use them as XYZ materials, they don't quote unquote leave the field. So Ray wouldn't trigger. We called the judge over, and the head judge verified that is indeed the case. He wasn't really happy about that. They gave us a 3-minute extension. And I got his life down. I have the notes here right next to me. I got his life down to about 17, I think. No, wrong notes. To about 1400, and I was at 6300. So time was called at 3:09 p.m. And we got a 3-minute extension, which means that our match would be ending at 3:12 p.m. He did his thing, and he was still in his main phase when it hit 3:12. I'm like, 3 minutes have passed. And he's like, no, it didn't. Like, we agreed that time was called at 3:09 p.m. It passed. It's 3:12. And he was really not happy. I think he just flung my kaiju at me and he said, just effing take it. And yeah, he was like, oh, the judge should have monitored the game state. Now, in the beginning, this guy was not a jerk to me at the beginning. He was actually pretty cool. And it wasn't until later parts that was apparent that he was not really a fan of mine.
Yeah, people get salty when they start losing with their little meta decks and stuff.
And
I
understand that frustration of losing in time. I get it. I do. And I'd be a little more sympathetic if I didn't catch wind that he was actually saying, oh, this guy played bad and he won in time. And I think it was bad-mouthing me behind my back. So he kind of lost sympathy there, if that was indeed the case.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, stuff happens. I feel like the thing about this game and a lot of games, the competitive sides kind of take over sometimes, and we just do things that we shouldn't. But, guys, keep the sportsmanship great. Like, it's no need. It's like it happens. We know the time rule is annoying, but, hey, like, if you lose in time, you just lose in time. It happens. It's part of the game now, so.
I admit I did not extend my hand to him for a handshake, and it wasn't because he was a jerk. It was because I knew he wouldn't want to shake my hand. He was already tilted enough, and I didn't want to cause awkward drama.
For sure, yeah, no drama, no Yugi drama, not worth
I just went along with my day. The next round was another Sky Striker player.
Fun. Well, you guys such good matchups, though. You just literally contact their stuff away.
I absolutely do have Sky Strikers absolutely do have a good matchup, and I don't want to get Sky Striker players all upset at me for saying this, but. And no offense, guys, but this is my opinion. Sky Strikers can only beat Cyber Dragons under 2 circumstances. They either beat you through There Can Be Only One, which is an annoying card.
Yeah, that card is great. Whoa.
/ Mystic Mind, or you draw absolutely bad, even to the point where Ashing Your Emergency ends your turn. That is one of the only 2 circumstances where Sky Strikers can consistently beat Cyber Dragons. Otherwise, it's a really good matchup for us.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually low-key saying to myself all day, I hope I get Sky Striker and Rogue all day. I'm sorry, I wanted the easy path.
Hey, well, got you.
I'm not above taking the easy path to victory here. I wanted my invite. I didn't care how I got it.
For sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, you got your invite and some, so hey.
Oh, yeah.
That new play mat with the IP Masquerena, it's so nice. It looks so good. Like
this is actually my very first top 8 ever.
Nice.
In my history of playing the game. So that was really awesome. But going back to the match, it was against Sky Striker. He's actually a well-known player. I'm not going to point out his name because I don't want to be that kind of guy. But game 1, I beat him. His hand was actually rather awkward. I think he didn't really draw much. He basically scooped after a few turns. Game 2, I couldn't get stuff rolling, and I think Sky Striker kind of snowballed from there, and he ended up taking it. Game 3, I sided into Twin Twist. Well, I had Twin Twisters and Ghost Ogres sided in for Game 2. I think I sided out the Ghost Ogres because aside from multi-roll, I don't really know what I would hit with it. So I sided back. I think I sided in back in the evenlies.
Yeah.
I sided them out because I anticipated going first game 2. But I sided back in the evenlies. Didn't see him, but I did see Twin Twisters, and he opened up with 3 or 4 back row. I think he compulsed one of my monsters, which brought him down to 2 back row, and Twin Twisted the remaining back row, and somehow got a Sieger plus Rampage out, and that was, it for him. Round 6 was... You're never going to believe I faced round 6. Witchcraft.
Interesting.
Yes, witchcraft was, I guess, X1 up until then.
Whoa, I wonder what he finished with. That's interesting,
Well,
actually.
it wasn't X1 because he kind of got,
Right.
no offense to him, but he kind of got flattened by me.
Jeez.
And I'll tell you what the MVP of that game was. Overflow and Cyberload Fusion.
For sure.
I mean,
what did they exactly do? Like, I remember I faced them in Nats, and that was like literally it. But like, they did some type of recycling of something.
yeah,
I think a spell gets back
for their
something.
spells to activate their monster effects, I believe, and then they can get their spells back from the graveyard. I don't exactly know. I didn't really see much of the strategy.
Right.
I just popped this stuff of Overflow, and then I went Cyberload Fusion for game because stuff was banished with Overflow.
Mm-hmm.
So I went Cyber Twin for game. And then game 2, okay, he drew really bad. Like, I cannot even deny it. He set 3. His 3 sets were an impermanence and the 2 spell cards. And I Overflowed, popped them. And then I Cyber Twin for game.
Overflow is too good. It's still a lot of wins with this Overflow.
I am glad I main decked this now.
Man.
I'm not saying it was a bad card. It was a terrific card back when I taught back in February, but again, as I mentioned in your comment section, it was not the direction I wanted to take the deck in at that time. I wanted to go my hyper offense style.
Mm-hmm.
Round 7 is where the YGOPro testing comes in handy. I faced heroes.
Oh, nice.
Game 1, he opened with Stratos. I think he searched out, what is that vision hero that summons increase? Is it Ferris?
Ferris, yeah. Like, to be honest, I haven't been up on heroes, and I used to play them, and I used to like always keep up with them, but like I haven't been up on them. But like low key, like, not to take nothing away from heroes. Heroes are like powerful. They swarm really hard, like, and they can't OTK you. They have multiple OTKs, so
depending on their field. I can't get past them because Dark Law will prevent you from contacting.
Oh yeah, and that too. Yeah, the Dark Law can just sit there,
and Plasma will just negate my effect. So it's kind of like, what can I do? But this game in particular, he searched out the Stratos. He used Stratos to search out Ferris, which is fine. And he activated Ferris in hand, and I gammeted it, and that was the end of his turn. Because Ferris is actually the thing from what I've experienced on YGOPro constantly. It is what snowballs the deck. So gamming it pretty much stops it in its track.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically got the OTK somehow. I think it was like Seizure plus Rampage or Seizure plus Infinity plus Nova. Something happened. Well, that wouldn't make sense. Oh, I know what it was. It was Seizure plus Nova plus Cyber Dragon, if I remember correctly. I used Seizure to boost Nova. Seizure attacks over Strauss. He didn't have Honest Neos in his hand, to my recollection.
Mm-hmm.
Cyber Dragon attacked. Cyber Dragon Nova was already at 42 thanks to Seizure. Attacked, damage set, banished Cyber Dragon, boosted up another 21 game. Done deal.
Mm-hmm.
Game 2, I didn't draw my hand traps for him. And okay, I want to go a little bit off topic here and refer you to the Ghost Ogres. I was debating between 3 different hand traps for these 2 cards: Drolls, Crows, or Ghost Ogres. And I ultimately went with Ogres to deal with True Draco, Guru, and such.
Mm-hmm.
Crows would have been nice for Orcus and whatnot, but I had Lancias and Gamma, so the Orcus, Ash 2, because you can Ash the Heart Part or the Nightmare, whatever you see fit.
So you were covered there, so.
But then it came down to Droll versus Ogre, and Droll would have been nice in case I faced a mirror match, or to stop all the pendulum searching. But the deciding factor was Ogre overall would have been the better choice, because Ogre can kill off the diagram, Ogre can kill off the Electromite, get rid of those arrows, Ogre can kill off the Servant Endymion. I need to remind you guys that, unfortunately, it is commonly ruled in North America that if you Ash the Servant, they can just activate it again, even though in the OCG in Europe, they can't reuse Servant that turn, you Ash it. So, yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah, I keep hearing that ruling keeps going back and forth or something, and you got to ask the head judge at your event for it. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like it should be staple blanket through everything.
The head judges have discretion, but they generally decide to rule it as such. My head judge in Maine ruled it that you can reuse Servant, even though he doesn't agree with the ruling, but he figured that just go with the general consensus.
Got it.
I can't really fault him for it though. So that's why. So Ogre's there to also get rid of the servant.
Yeah.
Because Ash is going to fail in that regard.
Right. Man, I love these new artworks on these things.
Yeah,
like, man.
I do too.
Takahashi out here, man. He always designing these like nice artworks.
My favorite is the Ghost Bell artwork.
For sure.
But yeah, I did cite an enemy controls versus the hero player and Lancia because of the malicious and Nibiru. I didn't see any of that. And he opened up with Plasma plus I believe it was Dystopia.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, and I drew Repair Plant, Cyber Dragon, Overflow, and 2 other cards that were not very helpful. Actually, I think I drew Enemy Controller, but that wouldn't have helped me because I had no other monsters to work with here.
Right.
I ended up taking the L in that game. And game 3, well, I can say, thank goodness he didn't have Honest Neos in his hand. His opening was Plasma plus Malicious Bane. And my hand was a Machine Dupe. I believe it was a Cyber Dragon Core plus Cyber Dragon, some other cards.
Yeah, mouse over Machine Dupe.
Absolutely.
So broken. Gosh, why is this car still at 3? Kadabi.
No, I'm glad it's at 3. I'm glad it did not have to take the fall for spirals. Because otherwise, this deck would not be playable. I'd have to rely on Infernal Reckless Summon, and that just doesn't seem.
Yeah, that card is great, but it's not that good. But all right,
not as good as Machine Duplication. So, again, I know how to play around heroes because I had lots of exposure because of YGOPro. So what I did was I special summoned Cyber Dragon. I swung over the Plasma for 200. So there goes a negation. Now my board's open, so I can normal summon one of my less than 500 attack Cyber Dragons. I don't remember which. I think it was Core, but it might have been hers or something else. I do that. Machine Dupe. I'm going to I'm going to link off, I believe, into. I might have linked off to either Lamba or Genius. I forget which. No, I'll tell you what I did. I went to El Mirage, got rid of the one that was normal summoned.
Mm-hmm.
Then I overlaid into Nova, special summon something for the graveyard, and then overlaid into Infinity, absorbed the Malicious Bane, and then so I ended on Mega Fleet after the Solomon Great thing, and Infinity. I got him down to a simplified game state, and I had additional disruptions in the form of Overflow and Impermanent Set, and I might have had a hand trap in my hand. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Right, the heat of the moment. This was like the last round.
It was definitely Infinity plus Overflow and Impermanent Set. So I got him down to the simplified game state, which is one of the purposes of this build.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe next turn, he did something to get rid of my Infinity, or I don't remember what exactly he did. But either way, I managed to, summon Mega Fleet, then Nasher into Cyber Dragon, go into Sieger. That was 3 summons. Enter battle phase. He was asking me how many summons were counted, and it was 3 because he actually top decked Nibiru last turn.
Oh man!
A turn too late, so it was just 3. So I entered my battle phase. I did my thing with Sieger and Cyber Dragon, Cyber Low Fusion, Cyber Twin for game, and that was that for him.
Nice.
And the last round was against Trap Tricks. Yes, Trap Tricks was actually X1 up until round 8.
Wow, interesting.
Unfortunately for him, the ride stopped there. He didn't get the top 8 with it because no offense to him, I trounced him badly.
Wow.
That was actually my easiest matchup of the day, aside from the Witchcrafter one.
You were probably like, man, last round, man. Oh man,
impressed.
What is it?
I was actually.
Go ahead.
I want to go back to the Rogue thing. There was a Mystic Mind burn deck at the regional, and that scared.
Yeah, dude.
That absolutely horrified me.
That deck's scary.
Unlike what it was before, and now they have Sullen Judgment at 3, so now you can't really pop their stuff as reliably. So,
yeah.
And he was actually doing pretty good. He was at X1 at one point, so I got really nervous thinking, oh boy, I'm going to have to face him. And I'm going to lose. And I don't have my Heat Spell Cancelers or Jinzos in my side deck to deal with them. But no, I ended up facing Trap Tricks instead. And again, this goes back to YGOPro testing. I had lots of exposure to that. And Well, he bricked really badly. He drew a bad hand game 1. He drew all trap tricks and maybe a trap card. So he went to Sarah set 1, and that was that. And I went Cyber Dragon, Contact Fuse. I went Cyber Dragon, Normal Summon Core, Cyber Dragon, Contact Fuse, and the Mega Fleet. Machine Do, I believe. Mega Fleet and Core away into a Lambda. He tried to Nibiru, and I went Gamma.
Wow.
Lambda was on the field. See, my way of dealing with whatchamacallit, Nibiru,
The Rock.
paid off.
Wayne.
Paid
The
off
Rock
really
Johnson.
well. And I'll get to the reason why that's there in a bit. You're not gonna believe why I have that there. But yeah, I beat him game 1. Game 2, he opened with Sarah plus 4 or 5 back row. And I opened with Red Reboot. And I think we all know what happens here.
Yeah.
I summoned Cyber Dragon. I did something else. And he activated a tracker. I'm like, Red Reboot.
Hit the
And
button.
Rip. And I did my swarming. I didn't go into Lambda because I didn't have Gamma. Like, I'm not going to pointlessly go into Lambda unless I have a Gamma in here. Because if I can make a Link 2, I'll probably go into Seizure or Genius otherwise.
Right.
This will go if I'm facing like an annoying Floodgate. But for down arrows, I'll go into one of these 2. And I'm like, after I got my fist on, I'm like, Nibiru? And he's like, I wish. And I just OTK'd him. And so overall, I did go 7-1. I got
Nice.
3rd place. My round 2 opponent, who was the Orcus player, who ended up going undefeated throughout the entire tournament, was extremely happy for me. We were happy for each other. It was such a feel-good moment because we were really getting along throughout the entire tournament. Like, I would check in with him. He would check in with me about how I was doing and such. And he got first. He deserved it.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, that's what the game is all about, you know,
I'm glad
friendships.
I'm glad he beat me because I'm glad I got to dodge all this True Draco and Pendulum.
He had to play through all of that.
He actually faced 2 Pendulums, and I think he faced True Draco as well.
Yikes. Yeah. And Pendulum is still scary, even though it's like, I feel like it's not like as popular as it was, but it's still pretty scary, man.
If more people played it, it would definitely be a force to be reckoned with. But people generally prefer the Orcus deck now.
Yeah, Orcus is still like running the meta, but I mean, it's not as bad as it was last format with it just being splashed into everything.
Yeah,
that was ridiculous.
Now it's generally pure Orcus.
Yeah. But all right, well, yeah, well, thanks, James, for sharing. Like, yeah, you got any shout outs or anything else you wanted to say?
I wanted to make a note of enemy controller. Now, you were asking me about enemy controller and why it's cited.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. Like,
there were specific matchups I had it for, as well as specific niche situations. The specific matchup I have for it is Pure Thunder, Dino to an extent, and anything else that brings out annoying floodgates, like heroes. I would actually like to take their plasma.
Yes.
Here's a scenario for you. Let's say I'm facing against a hero deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm facing down a lot of plasma. Normal Summon Core, activate as Chainlink 1, Chain Enemy Controller as Chainlink 2, tributing the core, taking control of plasma, or maybe another hero. But because core is no longer on the field at resolution, I get to search, because plasma negates face-up effect monsters' effects.
That is true.
And that would go the same for Colossus, although it would be a little bit different, because Colossus, Cyber Dragon Core is a mandatory effect in normal summon, so it has to activate even if it doesn't resolve fully. So the idea for a Pure Thunder is you normal summon Cyber Dragon, activate effect is Chainlink 1. You're forced to. It's mandatory. Like optional effects you can't activate under Colossus, but even though it can't resolve properly initially, Core would have to activate. Then Chain Enemy Controller is Chainlink 1. Either tribute the core or maybe another monster on your board and take their Colossus. Now the Colossus is on your side of the field. The opponent is affected by it and not you, so you get your search. And as far as the Dino matchup goes, well, I would do that to I would probably take their Dolka or Ultimate Conductor Tyranno so I can do my stuff.
Right.
We actually have a good Dino matchup. Cyber Dragon Seizure is very key in there. Unless they kill it with Pankratops, or they have Lost World out, or they have a Dolka to negate its effect, Conductor Tyranno cannot get over it. You can't flip Link space down, and it'll just keep boosting every turn to take out the Tyranno. And one last thing, if I may.
Go for it.
The very niche situation I was referring to when it comes to Nibiru. Oh God, I wish was able to get this off, but this is my other way of dealing with Nibiru. And actually, I can OTK after being Nibiru by using this card. Let me explain how.
Yes,
so
I'm interested.
The requirement is you want your Nova to be Nibiru.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to Nibiru your Nova, and Nibiru's going to resolve. They're going to most likely summon Nibiru in attack position because, well, let's be honest, Nibiru's defense is as pitiful as Chansey is in Pokemon.
Yes.
It has very bad defense here, but generally they will summon it in attack position. Now, after Nibiru resolves, Nova will activate, and you will get to special summon from your extra deck either Cyber Twin or Chimera Tech Rampage. Well, what I would do is I would summon Cyber Twin Dragon, because if I want to get the extra attacks with Rampage, I'd probably have to activate its effect, and that's like Ash bait and Ogre bait, and that's just not a good idea. So generally what you want to do, what I would do, or what I plan to do, would be summon Cyber Twin in attack position in the EMZ. Still have the token on the field. You follow me so far? Because this will blow your mind. I would enter my battle phase as a precautionary measure in case the opponent wanted to do something very cheeky, like try to stall out the timer if we're going to time.
Right.
So I'll enter the battle phase. He won't know what's coming because he'll just see a 2800 attacker. He'll be like, what is he going to do with that? We go to battle phase. Activate enemy controller. Tribute the token. Take control of his attack position, Nibiru. And if that resolves, not maybe, he will be OTK'd if he can't stop the attacks, because Cyber Twin is 56 damage alone.
Ooh.
Plus Nibiru is 3,000. That's over 8K right there. And unless he boosted his life significantly or he can stop the attack, that's OTK right there.
Nice. So you basically using their token as
to take their Nibiru and just OTK.
That's actually nice.
And I guess if they special summon the token and the Nibiru in defense, which they really... Because if they do summon an attack position, forgetting that I would use enemy controller, they run the risk of me somehow getting Infinity out and absorbing their token. But if they summon their token in defense, they run the risk of Rampage coming out, I getting 2 extra attacks with its Foolish Burial effect, attack over the token in defense, and then do 4,200 damage during the battle phase with the direct attack.
Fair.
So
that's cool. That's actually a nice little spicy take. Maybe more people who are afraid of Nibiru should just run enemy controller and steal their
the situation didn't quite work out the way it didn't really do what I wanted it to do, but it indirectly won me that Maju matchup by beating out the Solemn Judgment. So that was pretty cool.
Right. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm glad for you. Congratulations on this top. That's, like I said, Rogue doing top is so nice. Especially, this format is so diverse. I like how, even though, yes, Orcus is still out here. I know you guys are like, what do you mean, Jam? It's still, there's a lot of chances for opportunities for other decks to actually do stuff as well.
It is a top deck. I will say, though, as a Cyber Dragon player, this is going to surprise people here, but I don't really like the Orcus matchup. And people are going to be probably in the comments saying, why? They're all machines. Well, hear me out. They still got Babel. I mean, Babel is honestly, in my opinion, the broken card of the deck.
True.
It just disrupts your turn with their Dingirsu. So I cannot even capitalize off of fortressing their field. If I try to go Fortress and then do my plays, you can just Dingirsu during my turn. Yeah, I can't really do much there. And they can just snowball again.
True. Maybe Konami should have banned Babel.
Yeah, I think I don't have a problem with Crescendo. I don't have a problem with Dingirsu, Galatea, Lungirsu, any of the effect monster Orcus, but I think Babel is a problematic card of Orcus.
For sure. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you for your time, and yeah, we'll see you around. Congratulations.
Hey, you. Don't forget to subscribe, because it'd be totally awesome if you did, because you guys, by subscribing, sharing, and following me on social media, you help continue to create this totally awesome content, and I love you for doing so. Make sure you guys check out the description box below as well, because there's all kinds of new projects that Jam1 is up to, and I would totally mean the world to me if you checked it out. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy life. More than awesome, he's totally awesome.